Yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel where we talk about the problems that are happening in the country on daily basis. The issues that happen in the country each and every day. Like we face a lot of problems in South Africa. So today we would like to discuss about the power cuts in the country. Hashtag load shedding. So, me, guys, to tell you the truth, you see this whole thing of of load shedding here in the country. Okay, I remember. Okay, last year it was suspended. I remember. Yeah, last year it was suspended since 26th of March 2024. Load shedding was suspended. You know, load shedding was suspended, and these politicians here in the country, they'll be out there live on television lying and saying that load shedding will be a thing of the past. By the end of the year there'll be no load shedding and whatsoever. And that lady that said that load shedding is not the end of the world. So I don't know, guys, since this load shedding came back, I don't know, is this load shedding back for good? Is this load shedding bad? I don't know, because me, guys, to tell you the truth, I really do not trust ESCOM at all, you know. But I cannot say good ESCOM is the only issue when maybe the rest of the state-owned entities are still messed up as ESCOM. I still messed up as ESCOM itself. So when it comes to this thing of power crisis, we have seen in 2023 what load shedding has done. People lost their lives, businesses had to close because of load shedding, crime taking place, people being slaughtered in the streets of the country because it's stuck due to load shedding, patients losing their lives in the hospitals, robot dysfunctional because accidents happen due to load shedding. you know Many things that are happening here in the country, you know and the economy of the country is not gonna grow without electricity, and the fact that investors had to leave the country because the crisis, many problems that we face as a country. you know but since load shedding came back, what are these politicians saying about it? Because, guys, I don't know what will be the reason for load shedding to come back, because what we know is the fact that ANC has lost a majority. So if these people have lost the majority, there's no way with these people they can just bring back out of nowhere. Load shedding just comes back, because, guys, what we see, for me, what I see, guys, because this whole thing is just purpose. It's just people. So last year, why load shedding was suspended, and the fact that yeah, we have to celebrate 300 days without load shedding. How do you celebrate 300 years without load shedding? People in the townships experience load reduction, 5 hours and 4 hours of load reduction. You know, so so what's the difference between load reduction and load shedding? Load shedding on daily basis, electricity was going, has been going, like, people lost their lives due to load shedding. Many things have happened because of load shedding. you know so since this load shedding thing, is this load shedding back for good, or what's going to happen? Or maybe we'll hear excuses, as until today we are hearing excuses of, units broken down, whatsoever. So since last year, when load shedding was suspended because it was elections, and after elections, right now the ANC has decided to forge this government of national unity. Because I don't know, I think it seems like this government of national unity is, yeah, because there are fights amongst the DA and the ANC with the ridiculous policies of the ANC. And because, guys, my question is that even these political parties that we still have today, are these people capable? Do these people maybe serious about removing ANC from power? Because next year, guys, it's elections. And next year is the elections. What's gonna happen with this country? Next year is elections, local government. We'll be going to elections. But even me myself, when I just this thing of maybe me blaming politicians with everything that is happening in the country. So now we need to look at these voters, these people who voted for the majority of people in this country who voted for ANC for the longest of times. That's why many things here in the country are broken down and are a mess. That's why we find ourselves in these problems that we face as a country. So let's hear, guys, about this. Yeah.
Can be free from the intermittent darkness. Outer CEO Wayne Duvenage weighs in. Good morning, Wayne.
Good morning, Ms. Chova. Nice to be with you.
Good to be with you. Firstly, what is Outer's stance on the current state of Eskom and the latest news regarding implementation of Stage 3 load shedding?
Well, very concerning. If you just read the Auditor General's report, and I know it only goes up to the March 2024 period, but it sends a very clear message that we're not out of the woods yet. The mismanagement, the levels of corruption, and poor financial hygiene continues.
Yes, that's why, exactly. We are not out of the woods yet because, corruption and mismanagement, like, with the, but whatever that is, guys, whatever that is happening there in Eskom, in Eskom up until today, guys, this is the results that we see today with this issue of electricity crisis, So as he's saying, it's the truth afterward. Because maybe you might know what this whole thing of load shedding is purpose, because me guys to say, because and it's man-made itself, this whole thing, it's man-made. You cannot say it's natural, it's man-made, but yeah.
We think it has improved slightly since Dan Marikana has come on board in the last year. And the current board has been in place for some time, doing some good work. But
that's why I've been saying, Guti, this goes to, I know, me guys, I've been maybe watching the videos. There's this guy on his YouTube channel. If you know his YouTube channel, I was watching his videos, and you see, when it comes to politicians, with the fact that these people, they have alternatives. Where they live, these people, everything works. But the rest of the country, guys, are suffering, people losing their lives, crime that is taking place and whatsoever. But these politicians, they have alternatives. But these alternatives, they are paid by the taxpayers of this country. The fact that these people have private security, these people, like, where they live, you can't even enter. And where they live, actually, they don't experience what average citizens are experiencing on the ground. So these are the most frustrating things that are happening here in South Africa up until today. Uguti, the whole country right now is plunged into the darkness again. Back to square one. Back to square one when it comes to this thing, because we know how long, guys, how long are we going to watch this? Watch many things, like watch many things being destroyed in the country, because already, guys, there's nothing left in the country right now up until today. Everything, guys, it's like it's turned into shambles. I don't know, it's shambles, or maybe like guys, yeah, as maybe I was saying that, yeah,
a long way out of the woods, and it just goes to show that we can return to load shedding very, very quickly if we don't get on top of the controls, or the lack of control.
Because if all of these things, if all of these things were well managed, and maybe all of these state-owned entities and many other things in the country, we wouldn't be talking about this issue of blackouts and other problems that we face as a country every day, or like daily basis.
And the problems at Eskom.
Now, you mentioned corruption. Would you then say that the government and Eskom dropped the ball in addressing the root causes of the energy crisis?
Yeah, absolutely. There's still a lot of concern, and the Auditor General raises it as well, that if criminal conduct and irregular expenditure and fruitless expenditure had have been tightened up and gotten control of, they could start to eliminate these processes, and they're not on top of that. So this is pushing up the cost of primary energy costs. We are still hearing that we're buying coal that we shouldn't be buying, that coal that should have been supplied hasn't been supplied.
Buying coal from where? And you know, guys, these are these excuses that we hear from these people there at ESCOM. When you talk about buying coal from where? Because we have coal here in this country, you know. We have coal here in this country. Two provinces, KZN and Mpumalanga, when it comes to coal. Now the diesel has ran out to keep the lights on. All these 10 months when load shedding was suspended, or these 300 days without load shedding. But besides, if load shedding is suspended, but other people they are experiencing maybe what you call this load reduction. So these excuses that we hear from these guys there at ESCOM, how is it gonna help? How is it gonna help to solve this issue of load shedding, of this electricity crisis, or maybe corruption and mismanagement that is happening there at ESCOM? How long?
And all of these weigh against the organization's ability to get on top of the corruption. We've heard recently as well not so recently, last year, that this ghost vendor, this token vending problem, has cost the organization billions of rands, and it has been going for a number of years. And they've only just got on top of that. And the problem is, and this is also borne out in the Auditor General's report, is that there's very little consequences. So people can mismanage, people can misspend, and there's very little consequences. Nobody gets fired for the gross misconduct that is taking place.
All right. We'll talk about those consequences in just a second, but surely this could have been preempted. Were the warning signs of another energy crisis ignored or overlooked?
Well, again, that's why we have an auditor that looks at the process, the performance, and the financial hygiene, and we believe they have largely been overlooked. They're grappling with it. It takes time to turn around a big elephant like Eskom. We understand that. It is still overstaffed, and all of the operations and structure, you can return.
I don't know what is happening right now. Maybe like signal problems.
All right. I see the consequences of load shedding are real, and we are feeling them
networks
today, this morning in the studio. All right.
Exactly, networks, networks, and many things. That's why I'm saying with the signal lost or whatsoever.
Wayne Duvenacher, or Duvenay. He says he doesn't mind whichever way his surname is pronounced. But just talking about it, that's the Outer CEO weighing in on the issue of Eskom now announcing more load shedding after 10 months of no load shedding. Hopefully, we'll get him back in the course of the hour. But more people have been implicated in the R1 billion housing tender, fraud, and murder case involving former Cape Town MMC for Human Settlements, Malusi Boy, and suspected gang leader Ralph Stanfield. The case continued.
Yeah, guys, okay, maybe just like, so I wanted to recap, this whole thing of load shedding with that lady when she said that load shedding is not the end of the world. So let me just, I don't know. We don't know for how long is this load shedding thing going to continue, because where is that video? Okay, let me just see. Just recapping, it's last year's video, guys. It was made by the guy. If you just follow his channel, the guy 360 Experience Thomas, ne? Yeah, just yeah, Thomas Mavas. So if you could just go to his platform, subscribe, and yeah. Let me just recap it because just see maybe. Because
Met water en toegang tot elektriciteit. Ik heb in een zandhuis gewoond. Ik heb nu toegang tot de RDP-huis. Loadshedding is hier het einde van die aarde niet. En ik, president, is een van die mensen wat voel. Zodra jij van loadshedding praat, dan beginnen we.
So guys, before I proceed with the video, because I just record using my phone. Yeah, I always say that I record using my phone. So when this lady, when this woman of the ANC, she's talking about the fact that, what can I say? Yeah, when she's talking about, what can I say, guys? Yeah, when she's talking about the fact that she was living in a shack and now she has access to RTP houses, in a RTP house. So guys, in this country we have issues. We have so many issues. People don't have houses. You can see the poverty all over the country. You can see poverty all over the country. So this lady, when she's speaking like this, as if like she's talking about the fact that she has RTP houses, maybe to say that this woman where she lives, maybe like the rest of that these politicians, guys, they live in the most expensive mansions here in the country. But do you see the rest of the country, how people are going through and the problems? And the same problems that we are facing as a country, these politicians, they're the ones who cause these problems up until today in the country. So you cannot speak the fact that you are living in a shack. It's just that she's speaking this thing in Afrikaans. But here it's just, but there is showing us the, what you call this, translation. What is this lady saying about this whole thing, and the fact that she's saying that load shedding is not the end of the world? Because what can you say, guys? Because these politicians, they've allowed the whole country to experience the worst blackouts that we've ever experienced here in the country. That's why this lady just comes out there to tell people that load shedding is not the end of the world. But these people, they don't know the fact that this load shedding thing that they're talking about has destroyed people's lives, have destroyed businesses and many things. So when you are talking about the fact that RTP houses, how many citizens of this country don't have RTP houses? But instead, these RTP houses, they are being occupied by the people who come outside of the country, foreigners or illegal foreigners who come outside of the country. They're the ones who, but instead the citizens of this country don't have houses, don't have jobs. Guys, electricity, you don't have electricity in the country. This whole thing of load shedding, and many things that are happening here in the country. So what more? What more evidence do we need? And what more as citizens of this country do we need? Or maybe like remove these people from power? Because I'm playing this video because as I'm saying, Thomas made this video last day, but it's not only Thomas. Even the lady on Citizens Consent. If you guys know her channel, you can go through her channel, like, subscribe, I don't know, and whatsoever, maybe share. When these people, they were making a video reacting to this lady about load shedding, because since load shedding just came back right now, because me, I'm just, yeah. So, yeah, let's just listen.
Jou te saboteer. Ons sal moet iets doen aan daai sabotasie.
Because every time in this country when we have blackouts, we'll hear excuses from these people, and you will hear, if we will hear excuses from politicians telling us what they sabotage there at ESCOM, but guys, to tell you the truth, these people, they are the sabotage, they are what you call this, they are sabotagers themselves. They are the ones who are sabotaging us every time that they get live. You can see many things that are happening here in this country, guys. It's just what you call this sabotage, clear sabotage. When you maybe blame sabotage on someone else, who like, guys, to tell you the truth, who 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 needs, like, guys, how true is that, the fact that there's someone that is sabotaging ANC, because ANC, they are the ones who are sabotaging, who are they are the ones themselves sabotagers. So every time when many things in this country are broken down, they take every time when things get destroyed here in the country, you'll hear these politicians taking this blame on someone else and saying that, guys, yeah, someone is trying to sabotage us here. And but truth of the matter is that, guys, these people they are the ones who are they are the ones who are sabotaging us, and they are the ones who are sabotaging us, and even ESCOM there itself, and the rest of the state-owned entities in the country. So it's just excuses, ridiculous excuses. Like, I don't know, yeah, whatever that we want to say, yeah.
So ANC is telling South Africans that load shedding is not the end of the world. Load shedding is not the end of the world. You see, today in South Africa, we have a lot of young people that are starting up their own businesses because there are no jobs in South Africa. So young people are coming up with alternatives to survive. So they are setting up their businesses. And most of the time, these businesses end up failing due to load shedding. When you see those young people that are drowning in debt today because of those businesses, when you see them, tell them to go back to the unemployment line, because load shedding is not the end of the world. Load shedding is not the end of the world. When you see the families of the people that were slaughtered in the streets because it is dark, and the criminals are taking advantage of the fact that it is dark, go to those families and tell those people that load shedding is not the end of the world. The families of the security guards and other people that are working at odd hours, we know that these people are always targeted in the streets of this country, whether they go to work or they come back from work. Go to those families and tell those people that load shedding is not the end of the world. When you see the mothers who had to bury their newborn babies because there's no oxygen due to load shedding, tell those mothers that load shedding is not the end of the world. When you see the mothers who had to bury their newborn babies due to the fact that there is no oxygen because of load shedding, tell those mothers that load shedding is not the end of the world. This is what the African National Congress is telling South Africans. This is what the African National Congress is telling South Africans. Yesterday when someone flagged this video to me, man, I wanted to jump on the platform and react to this video. But honestly, I didn't know what to say, because I feel like at this point, there is nothing more for us to say about these people. There is nothing more political parties can say about the African National Congress. There is nothing we can say about the African National Congress. Everyone in the country today understands who the African National Congress is. The African National Congress told us who they are. The African National Congress showed us who they are. We have 30 years of their track record. We know who these people are. I think right now, as South Africans, for us to move forward, we really have to shift the conversation and focus on these people who keep voting for the African National Congress, despite everything these people are doing. There is nothing for us to say about these people anymore, man. Whether you like it or not, when we talk about the African National Congress, everything that you're gonna hear someone say about the ANC, it is something that you've heard before.
That's why, guys, you've been saying, Guti, yeah, that's how these people operate in the country every day, So as if it's saying, Guti Vele, if you hear maybe something about ANC, maybe how horrible ANC is, how corrupt they are, how, like, everything, it's just, yeah.
So it is just a repetition, because there is nothing more that we can say about these people. These people are terrible people. These people are horrible. They showed us that they are horrible. We know that these people are horrible. So there is nothing for us to say anymore. I feel like South Africans right now have themselves to blame. Majority of the people in this country who are black people, man, have themselves to blame for where the country is today. Because I think even the African National Congress doesn't understand why do people keep voting for them despite everything they are doing in the country. The African National Congress does not understand. How come? How is it possible for South Africans to still love them despite everything they are doing? They don't understand it themselves. I don't understand it. Many people in the country, they don't understand how is it possible that African National Congress still enjoys a majority of the support of the people in the country despite everything these people have done. I think this is one issue that makes African National Congress rogue. The African National Congress understands one thing about South Africans, that South Africans will never hold us accountable for anything. South Africans will never hold us accountable for anything. The people on the news, they can say how bad the ANC is. Political parties can tell you how bad the ANC is.
Yeah, so when it's talking about this thing, because guys, for the past 30 years of these people being in charge of this country and the terrible things that they've done. So me also, this is what I've accepted me as the citizen, average citizen, that guys, in this country there's no accountability for anything that went wrong in this country, for everything that these people have done to this country. Because sometimes maybe if you try to hold these people accountable, they will tell you about apartheid. You see, even when it comes to this issue of load shedding, these politicians, they are taking this blame thing and they want to put it on someone. I don't know. But them themselves, they are the ones, they are the reason, they are the cause of these problems that are happening in the country every day. So why do you have to take this blame and put it to someone else, knowing very well good you guys are the ones, are the reason why these things in the country right now are happening, or many things are broken down in this country, because who knows, maybe this stage 3 it changes. And right now, since it's load shedding, because also here in our area we had load shedding from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Now again, around Boma 10 it's gonna go electricity, So when it comes to maybe, like, for example, if we had higher stages like stage 6 and stage 8, these politicians, they'll come out there lying to the citizens of this country. They'll be saying, guys, they'll want to blame the sabotagers. How do you blame sabotagers there at ESCOM? Because how is it possible? Maybe I can say up until now in 2025, we still have these people running ESCOM. And they don't even know what these people are doing there at ESCOM. Instead of hiring qualified engineers, qualified CEOs, all of these people there at ESCOM, then that's when we will not be having these problems of electricity in the country, of load shedding or power outage, or maybe I can say load reduction, or because why? ESCOM was well managed, and the people that are there in ESCOM, they know what the hell they are doing there at ESCOM, but not the comrades running ESCOM. How is it possible? Because, guys, this whole thing of load shedding here in the country and many things that have done to the country, they are they are horrible, like they are horrible, these things. And Abombaluya, they will be coming out there. I remember Abombaluya, they'll be coming out there. They'll be speaking, they'll be saying the fact that what ANC has done to this country, what ANC has done to this country, or the terrible things that they've done to this country. They will categorize those things as mistakes. How do you categorize this whole thing of load shedding, destroying people's lives, and the rest of the state-owned entities that are broken down by these people? How do you categorize those things as mistakes? Opening our borders, breaking down hospitals, and many things. How do you categorize those things as mistakes, guys? But guys, yeah, you'll tell me what you think. Yeah, and please subscribe, and yeah, I will see you. Yeah.